All right. I'm live. Today we are going to beat Xenogears. I know I said that yesterday, but today I mean it. For real this time. Final dungeon. Here we come. Okay. What up, Drake, Chandler, and John, who is typing now? Whoops, that's not what I'm trying to do. That is what I'm trying to do. And yes, this one. Health issues have gotten worse, says John. No, I'm taking a break from everything. I'll try to figure out what's wrong. Man, I am so sorry to hear that. Especially when you were saying it was getting better. Damn. I mean, we wish you the best, man. Keep us updated. It sucks, man. Do I have to fly into it? Oh, I'm sure it's been incredibly frustrating and caused a ton of anxiety. Jeez, dude, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to hear that. Let us know if there's anything we can do for you, man. We wish you the best of luck, John, and yeah, please keep us updated on everything. We really wish you the best and hope that you can figure out what's going on. Well, those are good things for it not to be. That's... Hey, Rob. How's it going? Yeah, take it easy, man. Oh, guess I can't go this way. Ah, because it's the light blue. Wait a minute. I mean, it's a higher level. How would I get up there in any case, then? Gotta be able to get up there, right? Oh, we gotta go this way. You got a PS5? Damn, dude. How'd you pull that one off? I know that they're not easy to get a hold of. Ah, this is the way we're supposed to go. Oh my gosh. Encounter rate. think I'm going to hold off on a PS5 until they have their slim model, whenever that comes out. Thing's just too bulky, for my taste. Alright, now we want to go down. Ouch. Didn't think you'd be able to get an attack off. Level 75. Not going to get a high enough level for Fadiga's last death blow. But we got pretty close. And go. Very high encounter rate. Very high. Insanely high. He's healing himself before he's even taken any damage. Ooh, what was that? Rob says got it through British Telecom store, of all places. It's the only place with a simple pre-order system. Register your interest and they'll email a code when they're available. You have 10 minutes before it's invalid. I was lying in bed on Saturday and got pinged. 10 frantic minutes ensued. Nice. Get that credit card ready. That's funny. Alright, this is kind of fun. You fall down here. You gotta avoid the lasers. Kind of like Star Fox style or something. Not too hard to do. Oh. So try to catch it by surprise. Over here. There we go. Oh, there's more! Nice. So you enjoyed Tales of Arise then? Maybe I'll have to give it a shot. Alright, we're going to keep our compass oriented like this. North, south, west, east, so it's easy to remember. I'm going to turn away from the chat for just a minute, because this place is really, really irritating to navigate. The goal is to get to the red node there, kind of in just above the center. So, we're going to be approaching it, I think, because you have all those, like, exits on the outside, all those red indicators. Those are exits that lead out to, like, branching hallways outside of this center room. So you have to change the direction of some of these, like, bridges in order to, like, make the path that will lead to the red node. And it's like the worst final dungeon of all time. It's terrible. So I'm going to try to follow my instructions here to the T. What's going on? Why is this like this? Here we go. There we go. And if I follow it exactly, I should make it. Go down the elevator. Head south to the next node. I think that the encounter rate is much better Like, it's a lot more forgiving in this area. Okay, then we go up the elevator. Then we're going to head southeast. And we're going to jump up to the top here. And we're going to push this lever. What might this be? Are you going to check it? We're going to push it. Like that. Okay. Now that that's done, down the elevator. You don't want to change my camera angle automatically like that. Go east, across that bridge we just moved. Then we want to go up the elevator. And head north. And then go down the elevator. And then northeast to the next node, and then there's a switch at the top. Up. Just activate this, and that moves that bridge over there to connect to that, which is one of the exits to the remote side. Now we have to backtrack to the last lever that we pushed. So we go here and up the elevator. Hate it when it changes my camera angle for me. Go south and down the elevator. And then we go west across this bridge. And this should lead us back to where we were with the lever on the top, right there. So once we get back here, we're going to go northwest, then southwest, this way. Then southeast to an exit. I took very meticulous notes on this part 4 or 5 years ago, whenever I played this game the first time. That was actually pretty beastly. Okay. So what we want to do here is go down, and then I think turn east, first opportunity, and go north. And there's going to be a chest in this room. Let's let you charge. You can go. Let's see. Drake is saying that Arise's story is very Tales to an irritating degree. Yeah, that's a no for me then. It felt special and unique for about the first 10 hours and then shot itself in the foot. But I think it nearly perfected the gameplay. Well, that's interesting. That's ammo for Billy, who we don't have in the party. Okay, let's see. From here, we're going to go south. And it's going to bend southwest and then south. Let's just kill this guy. Ouch. What's that all about? Crazy. Oh, okay. Yeah, breaking the limit of the damage over 999,000. That's what I like to see. Nice level up. Alright, bend southwest. Let's... Wait, is this right? Oh yeah, then south. Okay, we're gonna go down some stairs and go up the elevator. Alright. Then east to the next node. And we'll activate another switch. Alright, good. Head back west. Up the elevator. Wait, what? Oh, go down the elevator. Okay. That confused me. And southwest to the next node and up the elevator. Okay. Then we want to head south to the next node. And then west out to the exit. That doesn't make sense, though. I guess I have to go down the elevator. Oh, down. Yeah, it does say down. Okay. And west out the exit. Go through the door, please. Alright, so here we want to head all the... Okay, so that's where we are. We want to head to that southwest door there. So we'll head west, southwest, west, south, southwest, and then northwest. Going to follow that path heading in a southwesterly direction. We should get to the door. Okay, and then we're gonna head up this way. This should do it. Level 76, maybe we will get to level 80, who knows? Who knows? It's not that it'll do any good because I can't do his final limit break or death blow inside of a gear, but you know. Alright. Okay, there's a pilot shield in the chest here. Alright, now I'm going to head to the northeast exit of this series of hallways here. So we came from the east one. We want to go to the northeast one. I'm going to go down, up, the second right turn. Turn right. Charge with you. Wow, that was all I needed. Jeez. We're going to turn right. Yep, right there. And we're going to head north. Right here. This will take us where we want to go. Oh my goodness, come on, game. We should go up. That'll take us to the exit. Okay. Okay. We're going to go down to the first node. And down the elevator. And that should take us to the end. This bridge should be built. Everything should have gone right. We should be able to just jump down there. Nice. We got through the hard part. Oh, I forgot. I still have to dodge lasers. Holy. Somehow made it. That's crazy. And we'll descend past the angel statues again. More like holograms. Alright, now that we're here, we'll go to the right and get all fueled up with the gear merchant. Oh, you can also leave if you want to. Fuel up. Alright, all fueled up. Let's go save, and then we'll beat the final boss. We need to rearrange our equipment a little bit, though. Okay, so basically all we're going to do is change the gear on the gears themselves. We're going to change it to all GNR S50s on everybody. Yep. I'm going to save it right there. And then go kill this final boss. Okay, people. Ready for this? Pretty easy. I'm really pretty much overpowered for this whole part, but I think what I'm going to do is, rather than fighting the 4 orbs that surround Deus, where if you fight them all, you basically take away certain abilities of Deus, and Deus is easier to fight if you fight the 4 orbs around it first. I'm just going to go straight up to the top and fight it, just to make it like a fraction more challenging. Rob says, could you ask Kaysen whether the lyrics for the Japanese versions of the songs in Creed are the same as the English versions? Creed? What's Creed? Or Crade? Crade? What is that? I'm curious as to whether they are translations, transliterations, or something else entirely. Is that the name of the track? Crade? The Celtic style Xenogears soundtrack. Oh, okay. Yeah. Let's see what we can find on that. Is Crade the name of the album? The Celtic album? Okay. Want to jump inside? Yes. I don't think I've listened to that one. I've only listened to Myth, which I really like. This is Deus. Look at those 4 orbs spinning around it. It seems as if the power of those 4 things is supporting the center. So that means that big thing in the middle is the core of Deus? Probably. Who cares about those orbs? Let's just crush the core. Striking directly at the center rather than using fuel unnecessarily. That is one strategy, but I believe another plan of attack would be to defeat its surroundings first. If we decide to attack the supporting orbs first, then it might be wise to leave the battles up to us. We should be able to do something about them without using up phase power. That'll allow him to use the full power of Xenogears to defeat Deus, and yes, of course, to save Ellie. Whether we do a direct strike to the core or take down the supports first, I guess that is best left up to Faye to decide. Thanks, everyone. To attack Deus directly or to take out the supports first, I wonder which is best. I'm going straight to the core. Unless I accidentally hit that orb. Nope, we went straight to the core. Alright, here it goes. Basically, all we need to do here is build up our attack level to level 3. Defense down. do level 3 here. Doing pretty good damage. Go up to level 3. Ouch. Alright, we're up to level 3 now. We're going to use our XS Death Blows. Our level 3 Death Blows, and we should be able to kill it. Pretty much right now. And that's it. Oh, it's not a rumor at all. They say it directly in the ending. You'll see it at the end of the credits. It says, "The End, Xenogears Episode 5." It's not a rumor. It's 100% accurate. Confirmed. Oh, I see what you're saying. That Xenogears was episode 5 of Xenosaga. No, Xenosaga is a different thing. Xenosaga is an entirely different take on similar ideas. Xenogears was supposed to have 6 episodes alone. My gear won't budge anymore. The Zohar modifier has ceased functioning. That is probably the reason why our gears cannot move anymore. There's only a slight energy response coming from the core now. What about Ellie? What's happening to her inside that thing? The Deus system's bind on her should have worn off by now. So why aren't we getting any kind of response? You don't think we hurt her in that battle too? Hey, calm down. The sensors are picking up a response from the life form within Deus. It is probably Ellie, so do not worry. I believe she's okay. Ellie, can you hear me, Ellie? Deus is no longer active. It's all over now, so come out of there. Show me your face, Ellie. Ellie? What's happening? Doc, what's going on? What's wrong? I am now detecting a tremendous amount of energy coming from within Deus. It seems as if something that was sealed up till now has suddenly been freed and is growing enormously. It couldn't be the wave existence. The wave existence? That's gotta be it. The wave existence was just freed from its cage of fleshly existence in Zohar. It's probably attempting to return to the higher dimension that it originally came from. Which means this is the after effect of the dimensional shift? What do you mean, after effect? It is like a shockwave that is induced by the dimensional displacement. It's so much energy. If this much energy is unleashed here and now. If so much energy is unleashed, then what'll happen, Doc? Tell us. Then this planet will be annihilated. These numbers indicate that it has more than enough energy to take out a whole planet. What you mean? You can't be serious. We all fought so hard only to see this happen? Isn't there anything we can do? Can't we stop the after effect? Unfortunately, there is nothing we can do. Almost all machinery, including our gears, are out of commission due to the Zohar having been shut down. This time there's nothing we can do. To put it to you straight, this is the end for us. This is freaking stupid. How the hell could it end like this? What were we all fighting for up till now? Vibrations are intensifying. Hold on a second. No, these vibrations are different. It has to be something else causing it. Look. Deus is rising? What is it this time? Deus is releasing its remaining energy and is beginning to accelerate. If it continues to accelerate at this rate, it will soon leave the atmosphere. You don't think... Think what? That it's Ellie. Ellie is moving Deus? Are you sure? I'm sure of it. Ellie is trying to save us by moving Deus away from our planet. She's going to sacrifice herself. That can't be. Oh, Ellie. Can't we do anything? We can't just sit here and watch this happen, can we? Notice how Faye's gear is the only one moving. Wait, there is something I can do. What is it, Faye? My gear still works. Without Zohar, the power source of your gears, the only gear that now remains active is mine. Just like Deus, my gear and I made contact with Zohar. We are the only ones who can move now. I'm going to go save Ellie. That is absurd. Even if you were able to catch up to Deus, you would not have enough energy to make it back. Even so, I still must go. Ellie's taking the whole burden upon herself. If anything happens to her, I want to be there with her. Hey, just wait a minute. You know I'm not going to stand here and let you commit double suicide, if that's what you're planning. Bart. You better come back alive, you hear? Promise me that you'll come back. Then I'll let you go. Thanks, Bart, I promise. I promise you that I will return with Ellie. You better. Yeah, of course. All right, then get going. What? Let's let him go, Sidon. At this point, Faye's the only one that'll be able to bring Ellie back. There's nothing we can say or do about it. You're right, Faye. Keep your promise. No matter what. Faye and Ellie. Everyone's got to have their turn to talk. This is a JRPG trope that kind of really bothers me. Both of you, come back home. We'll be waiting for you, Chu. I appreciate this, Bart, and the rest of you. Well, I better get going now, but don't worry. I'll be back soon. I guess this will be the last journey you and I make together. I'm counting on you, partner. Ellie. Pretty cool effect. I like this. Where am I? I love this song. It's so good. That's Ellie. This must mean that I'm inside of Deus? Not exactly. Your actual body is but a physical object. It has merely been absorbed into Deus' outer shell. Only your consciousness is here. Of course, the girl you perceive in front of you is also not a true being. Your consciousness is merely creating her image. The wave existence? No, that's not you. Who are you? Can't be. Is that you, Krellian? That's right, isn't it? Krellian. It was you who did this to Ellie. The path of Sephiroth has been connected. No one can stop God from returning to his world now. So what have you come here for, Lacan? I came here to take the person I love back with me, so set Ellie free. The Deus system has been destroyed. It's all over now. So instead I ask you, what are you hoping to achieve now? The time when all things started, the place where all things were one. I'm going to return there. What place? Before the beginning of the universe, in the undulating waves of the higher dimension, all things were one. It was the waves spilling out from there that created this four-dimensional universe of ours. Humankind and the souls of humankind that were born from there are merely leftovers of those spilled waves. So, you're going back there? Is that what you desired? Lacan, why such reluctance to become one with God? What attachment could you possibly have to this wretched old world? What meaning can be found in living out such a short existence, hurting others, hurting yourself? grinding one another down, only to inevitably die and return to dust. Why, everything we could ever desire is here. No need to be troubled by the need for love, for this place is filled with the love of God. I have not lost hope in humans as much as you have, Krellian. Someday humankind will come to understand one another. I sincerely believe that. How can you be so sure? Humans will never come to understand each other. You said that she is the person you love, but can you say that even truly? Can you say that you even truly understand each other? All humans do is place themselves in a comfortable distance from each other and call that mutual understanding, spiritual unity, or true love, but it is all lies. Men cannot associate with others without first deceiving themselves. That is the way that they were created. But one being's ego can't determine everyone's fate. People have the right to choose their own destiny. That is why humans have free will. And what if that will itself was predetermined? What then? But what folly. Humans are just primitive life forms that have no such things as free will. Mankind was merely allowed to live in an imperfect state, as is, as will be. It is for this very reason, because humans have this wretched will or whatnot, that humans must experience sadness and loss. For someone to gain something means another must lose it. It is impossible to make humankind share limited things and affections. So I came to the conclusion that everything must be reverted back to where it all began, to go back to when all was one, waves and nothing else. It is not my human's ego, it is the will of the waves, the will of God. Well, that's all right too. We don't have to be perfect. Actually, being imperfect makes mankind live by helping each other. That's what being human is. That's mutual understanding. That's unity and love. I'm glad, no, I'm proud to be human. Ellie placed the future, tomorrow, in our hands, based on our choice, and she is working to keep Deus far from our planet. She's also trying to heal your heart, you who wants to journey all alone to be with God. Can't you understand Ellie's feelings? Do you have to become one with God before you're able to comprehend all of this? I understand. I know her feelings, as if they were my own. Yes, she and I are one. We don't need God's help. Well then, prove it to me. Show me this power of humans. Show me this love that you say can make you independent of God. I think what he's getting at here, Rob, is that, like, suicide wouldn't do it. Like, you wouldn't just return to God that way. They have to actually free the wave existence and travel with it through the path of Sephiroth in order to return back to the higher dimension that he wants to get back to. I don't think just normal suicide would have gotten him there. So the final boss of the game is Ouroboros. Ouroboros, it should be. Remember that your Ouroboros ring was what was found in Ellie's introns. This is basically Miang. As a symbol of the snake eating its own tail, right? The Ouroboros that was planted there by Deus. Okay, let's just do a normal attack and get into hyper mode. I think we're in hyper mode now. Oh, I didn't show the final. Should have done X instead. It's pretty good too, though. Alright, we'll do one more. Alright, this is the last death blow you get in the Xenogears. Sweet. I think that should do it. Maybe not. Maybe we have to do it one more time. gotta be kidding me, dude. What? Fetching died. There we go. What's up, Mozzie? Yep. I took very good notes back when I played the game the first time, so I got through the dungeon with little pain. Ellie. Faye? It was Krellian. Krellian released me. Krellian? Yes, I came to understand after becoming one with Krellian. His heart was so full of sadness. That is why he desired for he and I to become one with God. Because that would be the return to the beginning of everything. He told me, you should be with him. That is what he said. You see, he already knew. Yes, he already knew how I felt, how you felt. But there was nothing we or he could do. He had no choice but to go forward, even if it meant he lost all feelings, lost everything that was human. For all humankind's sake, there was no going back. Even looking back held too many memories. He would have just wanted to go back, even though he couldn't. So please forgive him. Krellian loved people more than anyone else. I somehow knew it all along. I just knew he was really that kind of person. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I was wrong. I thought sacrificing myself in order to save others was the right thing to do. But my actions only brought sadness to all the people who I left behind. That sadness gave birth to even more sadness. As long as I still live within you, my life is not just mine alone. Ellie, that isn't wrong. To sacrifice yourself for others is a noble thing. Even if it were to benefit yourself, it's no problem. There will always be a person healed, one or the other. Love gains its original shine only when there's an interrelationship between the giver and the receiver. It is incomplete when one or the other is missing, two or one. It was you, Ellie, who taught me that. I believe that is what it means to be human. I can now understand the true importance of it. I don't know if it's the right answer or not, but we have a lot of time to think about it. What Krellian himself was looking for all along, we will find the answer to it all ourselves. Thank you, Faye. Ellie?
Let's return to our planet.
That light. It's the point of contact with our world. But the dimensional shift has already begun. Will we make it in time?
Can you run?
If we're together, I can.
There's no time. This place is about to be destroyed. Now there is no more God. This is no longer their planet. This is your home planet that you are now standing on.
Krellian, you aren't going, are you?
No. Since that time, I have stopped being human. I've committed so many sins that any attempt at living like a human is impossible. The only one who could have forgiven me was God.
That's not true. I know they would understand. There's still plenty of time to atone for your sins. You, of all people, could do it.
Always the peacemaker, eh, Lacan? Perhaps that's what it means to be human. But regardless, I cannot go.
He's not being... it's not a redemption in the way that you're thinking, Mozzie, I don't think. I'll explain in a second when it's over.
Even if there's no place left for me upon my return.
It requires a sacrifice. He could not have come back to the planet with them and had a redemption. He basically has to sacrifice his life and go with the wave existence.
Actually,
not necessarily. He wanted to become one with Deus originally, and then go to the stars and fulfill Deus's goals. Now he's going with the wave existence. And he's going to lose everything that makes him human, right? He's just going to become a wave out in this higher dimension. He has to sacrifice his humanity in order to get there.
What happened?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Waves from the explosion disrupted the ionosphere, making it impossible to get a visual. They were probably caught up in the explosion.
That's a lie! He'll come back. He promised us he would. I know it.
I have not seen Gundam. But I'm certain it had an influence. As Takahashi had Gundam toy models on his desk while he was making this game. So, you know, for sure. I know. I know, Rob. The funny thing is that it doesn't really talk there. Choo-choo just sounds like Pikachu as it's running around right there. It's just choo-choo-choo-choo-choo. It sounds almost exactly like Pikachu, actually. I really love this this song as the ending for the credits. It's great.
Run through the cold of the night as passion burns in your heart. Ready to fight, a knife held close.
Oh, does it really, Drake? That's interesting. Yeah, I've never seen Gundam, so...
Proud wolf alone in the dark.
There it is. That is Xenogears, fellas. And at the end of the credits here, you'll see how it says Xenogears Episode 5, the end or whatever. So, basically, we got to see most of what the other episodes are. Like, the other episodes are contained in flashbacks and that sort of thing in this game. they just weren't like fully fleshed out into their own stories. And I guess we never really found out what episode 6 was supposed to be. So episode 1 is humanity, like, and their wars in, you know, like the Galactic Federation, that was all that stuff that led up to the destruction of the Eldridge at the beginning of the game. That was episode 1. That's where episode 1 ends, is with the crash of the Eldridge. Episode 2 is the story of Abel, like Cain and Abel and Ellie, where Cain kills Abel and Ellie, which we got like one very, very short flashback of in the game. But it's basically like the birth of a new mankind on the planet, where the original mother like emerges from the Eldritch crash and creates the Gazelle Ministry, and Cain and Abel finds a partner in Ellie. That whole storyline. Episode 3 is the Zeboim era, where you have Kim creating the nanomachines, and humanity has like become genetically defective in that they can't reproduce. They're like dying out because they have like a problem in their genetics where they're sterile. And Kim creates Emerala, the nanomachines, and humanity is wiped out with Miang's influence behind the scenes of the Prime Minister and stuff. Then episode 4 is Lacan and Sophia and Kralian and the war against Solaris. And then we get a lot more of that than in the other ones. And then episode 5 is this game, Faye's story. And then we have no idea what episode 6 was supposed to be. No idea. Yeah, there were 2 Miangs during the course of the Kim Zeboim era. All of that's detailed in Perfect Works. Yes. And that's kind of an interesting thing, I think, particularly about episode 4, is it's kind of got like a similar feeling to FF6, where it's like the heroes basically lose in the story, right? Like they're not successful, like the bad guys win. The bad guys basically win in like every episode of Xenogears until 5. So it's just this long cycle of the heroes like falling short. Mozzie says, whose body did Miang take over after Karen? The one she influenced Ramses with. Yes, I think so. The body that we see as Miang throughout most of the course of the game. I think that's who she went to after Karen. I mean, I don't know that for certain. I don't know if that's directly stated, but I think that's who she goes to, because that girl was like a second-class Solarian citizen, I think. And I think it is a probability thing. Yeah, I think it is just random. Now, according to her, it is. According to Miang, or Ellie, it is, when she's explaining it all, at the time when Ellie and Miang sort of like recombined again. But I think that the wave existence has had some influence on this, so I don't think it's totally random. I think there is an element of fate that the wave existence has basically sort of put into this world by giving its will to the antitype and its power to the contact. And I think that influence the wave existence had led to certain things occurring the way they did, but oh yeah, it's just some girl in Solaris. It's not like it wasn't like an important person. I cannot hit those notes. I'm definitely a bass baritone at this point. Not going to hit those notes. And here it comes. Xenogears Episode 5. The end. Sweet. Well, I think this next episode, or this last episode of, what would you call it? Like recapping the game, will be pretty short. But that's actually a good thing because we have to record the exclusive podcast this week too. So we're going to record those 2 podcasts tomorrow. Kason will take the final episode. I'll take the exclusive one. And then we'll do one more episode after that where we'll kind of recap and talk about Perfect Works and have some guests on. We'll have Pat Holloman on, and we'll have the Retrograde Amnesia guys back on again if they want to do that. And so I think we'll end up right at 21 episodes total for Xenogears. The vote for the next game is going to be going up very soon. Tomorrow's episode will go live at noon, 5 a.m. Mountain Time, if you're doing the audio-only version. But then the following week, there will be a poll for the next game. And we're going to do something short that is not a JRPG. Probably something like Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice, or Mass Effect, whichever people choose, but it's not going to be a JRPG, and it'll be a shorter game that we can cover in maybe 4 to 6 episodes. I probably won't do Prince of Persia this time, if only because I've already covered that one, and as a non-JRPG I've already covered. I'd probably rather do something like Soul Reaver or something like that. In place of Prince of Persia, since I've already covered that one pretty extensively. But JRPGs I can cover over and over again on this channel. But I don't know. But people will vote for it. So I'll probably put 3 or 4 games into that vote. And that'll be a shorter podcast. Weekly, we'll probably get 4 to 6 or maybe 8 total episodes, and then we'll go back to a Final Fantasy vote after that. So we'll do Final Fantasy 10 and 6 and Tactics. That'll be the 3 we'll vote for after that. I'm really interested. I mean, I feel fairly certain that 10 will win that vote, but I'm very interested to see if Tactics can give it a run for its money. Oh, Hellblade's amazing. Hellblade is like one of my top 10 favorite games of all time. I love the story of Hellblade. It's phenomenal. So anyways, that's kind of the plan for now. So keep an eye out for that on Patreon. There'll be a vote for the next game, and I'm going to put out a post asking people for questions that they want to ask about the story. Questions they want to ask about the story of Xenogears that they have, that they're confused about, or if they want us to return to certain topics that we had talked about throughout the podcast and address it again, or hey, do you still feel this way about this, or that kind of thing. So we'll take a bunch of Patreon questions and topics for that very final episode. For anybody who has questions about the story that they're confused about, or whatever it might be. So watch out for those on Patreon. What else? I'm going to try to get back on the bandwagon in a big way for the Final Fantasy retrospective. I think where I left off last time I talked with you guys about it was that I needed to re-record some of the introductory paragraph because I changed some of the wording there. So I've already done that. I already re-recorded that. I've already got it all laid out. So now it's just about, I think the first step in the next episode of editing that will be putting all the music, the musical cues in, and then we'll start editing it in. Or editing footage in, I should say. So yeah. I hope that I'll be able to do that more often moving forward, because I won't have to do quite so much preparation for the podcast for a game like Hellblade or something like that. Almost any game, now that I think about it. Like Final Fantasy X, I probably would, and or Tactics, like those games I'd probably have to put. But now that I'm thinking about it, I may not actually play the. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. If Final Fantasy Tactics wins, I'm not going to actually play that game again. I'm just going to review my own footage from the archive channel. I'll just watch the story again, right? And just sort of like review the story. So it won't take as much preparation on that one. If it's Final Fantasy X, I will play the game again, because I need to play the new version, the international version with the new sphere system. Because the only version of the game I've played is the PS2 version, the old sphere system. So if Final Fantasy X wins, it will probably take a similar amount of preparation that Xenogears did. Though the story is not as dense or confusing as Xenogears is. So it'll be a little easier to talk about than Xenogears. Not that it'll be easy to talk about. Final Fantasy X still has a very complex plot, but just not as complex as Xenogears is. So, anyways, for the next podcast at least, whichever game we end up choosing there, it probably won't take as much preparation. Rob says, I never played your Yank version, the advanced grid only. Oh, that's right, because that was the international version of the game on PS2. Let's see. Anyway, so what I'm trying to get at is that hopefully for the next month or two, the podcast won't take quite as much work as it did, and I'll be able to really focus more on getting those retrospectives back on track. So yeah. In any case, I think that's about it for now. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys are having a good week so far. I'm going to go get something to eat here. And make some final notes for the podcast tomorrow. Rob says, is there anything that would have been as intensive as Xenogears? I would assume in the future, like Xenosaga probably will be about the same level. If we ever end up covering the Xenosaga games, I could see those being as difficult to prepare for as Xenogears was. If not more so. What else? Most Final Fantasy games I've played before, or I've played many, many times, and I understand them better, and they're not quite as complex. So probably not an FF game. I don't know. Probably Xenosaga, or maybe like Xenoblade. But Xenoblade's story isn't the part that's... we're never going to talk about Kingdom Hearts. That's never happening. Metal Gear, that's a good one. I think we probably will talk about Metal Gear Solid at some point in the podcast. In fact, I'm certain of it. I'm sure that we'll cover Metal Gear Solid at some point. And that one will be difficult to explain and to talk about, but it's much shorter. Like, the game is so much shorter than this. So I still think it won't be as nearly as intensive as Xenogears is. Anyways, but Xenoblade Chronicles, if we ever talk about that, probably will be intensive, but only because it's such a long game. Like, it just takes so long to play through it. But the story is simpler, like much simpler. But the thing about the Xeno games is they all more or less touch on the same things. Like, the same themes are present, the same ideas kind of are in all of them. So once you've gotten through Xenogears talking about it all and breaking it down, the rest of them are pretty easy to reference and say, this is this, and this is this, and this is an evolution of this idea that was in Xenogears and whatnot. But yes, we will never cover Kingdom Hearts on the podcast. I refuse. Not happening. I already went through, what was that? It was like 2 years ago. I played through like most of the series. That was freaking torture, man. I want to hang myself. That was awful. I like the first Kingdom Hearts game. The original. I like the first game. I don't like any of them after that. I think watching short runs of Metal Gear 1, 2, and 2 could be quick research before starting Solid. It stands alone just fine, but also works as the conclusion to a trilogy. You know, I've thought about that, but I've also thought about whenever we end up covering The Witcher on this podcast, like how I would deal with that. Because what I would want to do is cover all the novels and all the games. That's not going to happen in this format. So it's like I would need to do... It's almost like I'd need to do a side podcast, maybe just alone on my own channel or something, where I read through those novels, and I can just point people to those videos if they want like full context or reference to like world building and lore and background of the characters and the stories of the Witcher world. And we would probably only end up covering The Witcher 3, but we would like point back to the other games. Because I don't have any like desire to play The Witcher 1 ever again. It's a very janky game. The Witcher 2 I like. I would play that again. And The Witcher 3 I'll replay the rest of my life. But the way that I would want that series to be covered would be to cover all of it, but I don't think I can get away with that on the main channel. I'd just have to pick either just the trilogy of games or just do The Witcher 3 and then maybe go back to 2 or something like that. But have some other side podcasts or something, maybe just that I do on my own as I'm, doing my daily reading and writing and stuff. I don't know. I have to think about that. But yeah, for Metal Gear, we'd probably start on Solid. And we would probably just catch ourselves up on what happens in Metal Gear 1 and 2, just so that we can reference back to it. We probably wouldn't cover those as games in and of themselves. Well, I really want to do it, Drake. I really want to start up like creating some form of content. It would be really basic. It would just be me talking at a webcam, basically. Very light, if any, editing at all. That's all I could be able to find time to do. But I want to kind of do on my own channel more like book stuff, like novel stuff. I'm very seriously thinking about sort of adjusting the branding of the Resonant Arc channel again to take out Dune as well, yeah, because I really liked the movie. To take out the icons that show film and music and writing and just go back to it's just strictly video games. I don't think that we're ever going to really be able to break out of that, sort of a genre, I guess, for our YouTube channel. We're just basically we're a gaming channel. That's just what it is. So, since I want to talk about other stuff, I would just need a different outlet for it rather than trying to force that into the channel, So I'll probably just have to start releasing stuff on my own personal YouTube channel, which I'm fine with doing that. I think that could be fun. A little bit more low key, not really as many expectations, smaller community, a little bit more raw. Not so like polished and pristine and heavily edited and scripted and stuff like that. Yeah, I already have the first Witcher series on the Archive channel, so we've got that to reference to, right? The Last Wish. So I could just kind of take it from there. I could just go to Sword of Destiny and just kind of start working on that on my own channel, right? Yeah. So I'm thinking about that. Dune would also be awesome. We did the Silmarillion. So maybe I'll put it on the archive channel instead of on my own personal channel. Well, I got to think about that. I got to think about which one I'd rather do. I can either kind of just start talking about novels and stuff on my personal channel and build my personal channel around writing and around novels, or I could release more content on the Resonant Archive channel that is, more of that film and novel analysis that I was hoping to have originally supplemented the main channel with, that it doesn't look like is going to work out. So anyways, I love talking about all these things that I would like to do, and actually doing them is a totally different story. So yeah. Oh, Amazon's series is going to be a disaster. It's going to be terrible. I will not watch it. I refuse. Anyways, appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for your support on Patreon. It means a lot to us. And tomorrow I'll be recording those podcasts, and I'll probably be back on Thursday, either to work on editing podcasts or to work on the retrospectives, whatever I feel like doing. Till then, have a great day. Peace out.